Hello, it's a third video on mating patterns, and this one is the Arabian mate. It's fairly simple. It's a team effort between the knight and the rook, and it's quite simple in this example here. The rook delivers mate, being protected by the knight, and of course the knight is defending this and blocking this G square, and the king of course can't take back and can't move here due to the fact that the rook's covering that. So it's pretty basic, very simple mate that sometimes is hard to find. Everybody looks for mates with the queen, but this is a two-piece mate that can be I wouldn't say easily adapted into a game, but if there are opportunities, why not? The second one is a little bit different. The second example, this next setup, uses the two same pieces, but in a completely different way. Having the king in the corner is one thing, but having the king out, say here on the G7 square, is different. But if you can set this scenario up, again, pattern recognition. The pawn protects this square, and of course it defends this piece. This piece prevents any escape to this square, and it also defends this square should obviously white want to move the rook there, which is the whole idea. So and of course the rook is already hitting these two squares, so once it moves here it delivers mate, and all squares are covered, so checkmate. Maybe not as simple as it looks, but certainly very available. And the next couple examples, well, a couple of these examples will show you. Alright, in this one, again, often many mating nets, if you will, or mating combinations might require a sacrifice. And so when you have a sacrifice, you have to look at it. You have to look at sacrificial moves, and most often it's given up in exchange, like the queen for the rook in this case. What would happen if the queen took the knight? What would happen if the queen took the rook? You have to think about different scenarios of how to create a combination. But if you already know the pattern, then it's easier to find. Here's the pattern again. The pawn protecting that square, and of course protecting the knight that's already there, and the knight's already protecting this square. And all you have to do is get rid of this piece and get the rook or the queen on the back rank so that it can come over and deliver mate, as we already know can happen in the Arabian. So off comes the rook, king has to take back, rook checks, keeping the king back behind the line here, and also forcing it into the pocket. And once you get it into the pocket, it has nowhere to go, has nowhere to escape, and since this square is protected, then the rook delivers mate. Another example, black to move. Give you a second to look at it, and you can see the familiar pattern. So what's the object here? That's to get the rook back to this square And how do we get the rook back there? Remove the defender by giving up the exchange, queen for rook, and then drop the rook back, and there's really nothing white can do. White can try to check. Well, in this particular case, there's a couple of checks. White can check here, forcing the king up. There's no other check for white that I see, and then deliver mate here. I guess white could also check here, and black has the same move. Turn the engine off. And there are no other checks for white. I guess white could give up the exchange, but then check, and off comes the knight, so that's totally losing for white. But at least it's not mate. So, going back, I just wanted to explore those potential options. Check. It's really not much that can be done without loss of material. So checkmate. That's the scenario. And lastly, with white to move, the same scenario. What's the object here? To get the rook on the back rank, but there's a little bit of a difference on this one. The difference is black can come outside of the pocket, so to speak. So we have to prevent that. And so how do we prevent that? Well, this is faster. I mean, there's probably ways you can creep the rook over there somehow, but you know, I don't know what you're thinking, whether you're thinking here and here or something like that, but still, it's not feasible. So a tempo grabbing move would be, for example, giving check to the king, forcing the king to move or block or something, and giving you another opportunity to move that piece to another location. I'm sure many have saved their pieces with checks. Well, you can use it the same way with an attack on the piece. So with a loose piece like the bishop, you attack, and it gives you a chance then to relocate the piece. And the example doesn't really even show moves for black, because it doesn't matter what move black does with that particular position, that there's no stopping the rook coming down. I believe there's no way to stop it. And again, forcing the king into the pocket, and then the mate's delivered. Another option might be once the bishop's attacked, bishop could go to e2. Doesn't do any good. You just attack the bishop again. Bishop has nowhere to go. That would prevent anything. But the idea, again, is to cut off the king on this file to prevent it from getting away, getting out of the corner. If this person is familiar with a Arabian mate, they might see the potential for that tactical type of mating pattern and will try to escape. So this prevents that. Anyway, that's it. That's the Arabian mate. I hope you found it instructive, and I'm going to continue to do more mating patterns.